So what's good, Straw Gang, and welcome back to another video. I'm finally coming back at you guys with another Top Guns upload. I haven't done one of these in a while, and for this upload we're going to be taking a look at the top 3 best mid weapons and their class setups after the Season 5 Reloaded update, or the Season 5 mid-season update is what I like to call it. Now, there wasn't too many assault rifles nerfed in this update, those 4 assault rifles being C58, EM2, the Krieg 6, and the Stoner 63. Of course, the Stoner is an LMG, but it's used for long range, and we're taking a look at long range meta weapons. Now, if you guys want to see more content from me, you don't want to miss any of the videos, you guys know what to do, man. Leave a like on the video, that helps the channel out, and drop a sub with post notifications on as well, so that way you don't miss any of the content that I have coming each and every single day for Warzone. Now, just before we get into it, this is what I do with all my Top Guns videos. I want to make it clear that the way I'm ranking these weapons is based on my personal playstyle and what I like to get out of long range weapons. So for example, the Stoner 63 is a much more long range weapon than something like the Krieg or the Farah. Those two are very versatile for close, medium, and long range. They can be used in lots of different situations. But something like the Stoner is a lot more sluggish. It's got a lot, slower of an ADS speed and everything like that, and it's built much more for long range. So that's how I'm ranking these weapons. Thought I'd let you guys know. So coming in at the number 3 spot, I'm going to be placing the Farah 83. Now, the thing with the Farah is that after the Krieg's nerf, this gun definitely takes the highest spot for me personally. The Krieg kind of feels like the way the Kilo did when it got nerfed. It kind of just didn't hit the same, and that's what's kind of happened with the Krieg, not to as much of an extent to where pretty much no one uses it. Of course, people are still using the Krieg. Not only has it taken the spot of the Krieg, but it does have the versatility that the Krieg does as well, which is that close, medium, and long range potential. That's what I personally really like to get out of my assault rifles, as a gun that is reliable, hits hard at range, but it also can serve for close and medium range gunfights. Now, getting onto the class setup, which is what you've all been waiting for, I'm going to be rocking the GRU suppressor, as well as the Spetsnaz RPK barrel, Spetsnaz grip, the Spetsnaz 60-round mag, and the axial arms 3 times with the precision reticle. Now, I have seen people saying that they feel the ADS is too slow with the Spetsnaz RPK, so you most definitely could go with any of the others, like the takedown barrel or the liberator barrel. Those are good as well, but I don't personally have an issue with the ADS speed on the Spetsnaz RPK. I think it fits the Farah perfectly, and that is going to be my class setup for the number 3 spot. Now, coming in at the number 2 spot, I'm going to be placing the EM2. Now, these top 2 spots are really hard to separate, just because they're very similar guns and they have a similar feeling. Okay, so the EM2 is a very heavy hitting gun. It's one of my personal favorite new ARs and new weapons that's been introduced into the game, but it's another one of those weapons that has quite a bit of recoil. I would say for the average player, I find myself sometimes having to really control it and it being a bit of an issue at the much longer distances. Now, even though meta weapons are supposed to be pretty easy weapons for any player of any skill level to use, and the EM2 is one that has a bit more recoil than you'd want your average meta weapon to have, right? Like the Krieg, no recoil. The Bullfrog LC10, no recoil. Whereas the EM2, it does have a bit more kick. Don't let that put you off this gun and put you off from using this beast. If you control the recoil and even just get average with this weapon, it is going to have you at such an advantage. You're not going to get the output that this gun has with an AMAX or an XM4, or Cold War AK. You're not going to get that type of feeling with this gun. For me personally, of course, that might be totally different for you. Now, onto the class setup, which is what you all want to hear about. We're going to be using the Agency suppressor, as well as the Task Force barrel, Field Agent grip, the Snag 50-round mag, and the axial arms with 3 times. Axial arms is pretty much the same attachment I'm going to be using for all of these assault rifle setups, and that is going to be my number 2 spot for this list. So coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be one of my personal favorite assault rifles of all time in Warzone. This is a gun that I feel most comfortable with out of pretty much all the assault rifles. It's a gun I've grown to really, really love and dropped some of my highest kill games ever with. So that is going to be the C58. Now, yes, this did get a nerf recently. It got a recoil adjustment, and I do notice the difference in the feel of that recoil adjustment. And yet again, like I said with the EM2, I understand that this gun has a bit more recoil than you'd want your average meta weapon to have. Once again, if you learn how to control that, you really narrow that recoil down, you will notice the power of the C58. It's such a heavy hitting weapon, but like most Call of Duty weapon recoil adjustments and nerfs, it isn't that big of a deal. Okay, I notice it, it's enough to notice, but it's not enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm not using this anymore. It's not a crazy nerf. And the C58 is just one of those slightly higher recoil weapons that you definitely want to get better at using, and I highly recommend it. I actually dropped one of my highest kill games ever on Warzone, 35 kills and buyback solos with the C58 and Bullfrog loadout. out, and that was of course before it got nerfed, but there's just not much of a difference, guys, honestly. Now finally we're getting onto the class setup. That is going to be the agency suppressor, as well as the task force barrel, field agent grip, the Snag 55 round drum, and the axial arms 3 times. I do see quite a few people using the 45 round drum, but for me personally, there's definitely been those longer range gunfights where those 10 extra bullets would have won me it, or I would have been able to finish the person being downed, whatever it may be. I just like to have those 10 extra bullets, but like I've mentioned a couple times in this video, what I like to get out of my assault rifles is the ability for that somewhat close and then medium as well as long range gunfight potential. And if you have a 55 round fast mag on this, it just makes the ADS way too slow for me personally, and the 55 round is a perfect sweet spot, which is what you always want to look for with class setups and what you're getting out of a gun. And that is going to wrap up the top 3 best long range meta weapons and their class setups for Season 5 Reloaded. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, I would really appreciate that. Drop a sub with notifications on so you don't miss any of the future content coming to the channel each and every single day. Now out of these 3 assault rifles, the C58, EM2 and the Farah, what is your most preferred weapon? What is the gun that you do use the most out of these 3? Let me know down in the comment section. I'd be really interested to know what you guys like using. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next one. Have a great day everybody, and I'm out.